you don't have to be thrilled about your underwear, but it is important to have underwear. So the joy can be, I have underwear, right? Fold them up nice, put them away in the drawer, tell them thank you for covering up my butt all day, and like live your life. You don't have to go that hard on, does this specific pair of briefs bring me joy? Hey friends! Welcome back to the Neurodivergent Creative. I am recording this the day after Election Day in the United States, and holy crap, we have made some changes here. Now, of course, we're all kind of like waiting for the shoe to drop because we have no idea what the right-wing response to so many like Democratic wins is going to be. Let me pull up some info just to be excited about it. Okay. So first of all, the New York City mayoral race, Mamdani won. A true leftist, like literally ran openly on a leftist platform, was like, we need to freeze rent. We need to actually like be here for New Yorkers. And the establishment Democrats were freaking out and Republicans were obviously freaking out. So he won against Andrew Cuomo, who Trump threw his weight behind. And Trump literally said that he would potentially like militarize and like send in troops if Mamdani won, which is literally insane. Okay, that's crazy talk. Even if you are a Republican and you think Trump is a good Republican president and you are not happy that there is a leftist who won the mayoral race, there's no way you can be okay with a president threatening a political enemy with military force. You have to know that that's fucked up. And if you don't know that that's fucked up, I can't help you. I don't have the crayons. Okay. New Jersey elected their first Democratic female governor. That's Mickey. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. I apologize. Cheryl. And then Virginia also elected their first female governor, Abigail Spanberger. So literally, like we're seeing women win. We are seeing leftists win. We are seeing, I think Zohran Mamdani is Muslim. I think. I'm pretty sure. Because everybody's like, oh, no. And in Virginia, the lieutenant governor, Ghazala Hashmi, is the first Muslim woman elected in a state race. So like what I am seeing very optimistically, very hopefully interpreting here is that after Trump was installed as the president, because proof has come out that the election was literally stolen with rigged voting machines. Hooray for that. So after Trump was installed as the new fascist dictator of America, the actual people have come out in droves to say absolutely the fuck not. So I am so hopeful that we will see more local and state level politicians being elected in ways that like will actually matter, because like the governor can kind of push back. I believe the governor of Maine said that like if Trump is going to deny like federal funding, then she will be withholding Maine's taxes. Like, no, you don't get to use human beings as the collateral in your political like fighting. It's asinine. He's asinine. And yet he's still here. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to come in and celebrate Mamdani and all these other historic wins. I actually heard from my sister before I fell asleep last night that Mamdani won. And so I got to go to sleep knowing that, and it was beautiful. And then my partner woke up and was like, did you see the news? And I was like, yes, I saw the news. So we're very excited about that. Also, California has approved a redistricting move to basically anti-gerrymander, or like to gerrymander back California, because if you don't know what gerrymandering is, it's why the districts in your state look absolutely willy-nilly ridiculous. I feel like districts should go by like county lines or perhaps a grid, chunks that are roughly the same size. But you will see districts that are like big skinny thing, giant place over here. Like they're just nonsense. And that is because Republicans calculate where the most Republican people are, and then they draw a little line around the Republicans and call that a district so that they will win more seats in those districts, which is also blatantly like suppressing votes. Like, they just do it out in the open. They're like, yeah, here's our new district, and it looks like nonsense. A fourth grader could draw you a better district map with crayons. Get some crayons out. Let the children district the states. I feel like they do a better job at this point. So Gavin Newsom, who has been cyberbullying Donald Trump, I can't even be mad about it, will be redistricting some more Democrat-friendly districts for the midterm elections to get new representatives in Washington. That's the hope. That's the dream. We have no idea what's going to happen today, next week, 2 years from now. We don't know. But for today, I'm going to be optimistic. Beautiful. Please join me in radical optimism, because millions of people went to the polls on a non-presidential year, and normally turnout on non-presidential elections are lower. Like, my local election was the school board, 2 judges, a levy, and an issue about property taxes. There were 5 things on my ballot. And I went and I read a couple articles and like interviews with the different school board people. And I chose my 4 school board people that I thought sounded the best to me. And that was that. You know, I always vote for a school levy because I believe in educating children. Pretty big deal. And then I went on about my day, which was pretty cool. So sometimes I literally will forget an election day. I'll just be like, shit, that was this Tuesday and I missed it. But luckily, I drove past a lot of like vote here signs because I have a commute now. So little mini Caitlin update, and then I will get into the actual like meat and potatoes of this episode because I do have a topic for us. But I also have decided like I'm going to lean into the vlogging thing a little bit more because I feel like when I share about stuff I'm going through, a lot of people relate to it. So I don't need to come in with like a topic to teach you. I'm coming in here to talk to you about stuff I'm experiencing and the life lessons I draw from that. That's what a podcast is, right? I was overthinking it. I was making it too deep. So instead, we're just going to talk. So I, this week, started a new part-time job. That's part of the reason that I am recording this on a Wednesday instead of a Monday. I like to record on Mondays because I wash my hair freshly and it's beautiful. Today, we are on day 3 hair. Which is less beautiful, but still pretty cute. Also, I'm not sure if you've seen it yet, but I got hot pink put in my hair. So if you're listening just on the podcast, you definitely want to go check out the YouTube because I'm pretty adorable. So I'm working part-time. I will be doing like some admin, some like customer, like data entry type stuff, and I'm going to be filing tax returns. So I had to get a background check for the FBI because I will be looking at people's tax information and submitting federal tax information to the government. So because of that, they need a background check. And I don't know if it's just me. I'm sure it's not just me, but I am curious how many people it is. I was going to get my little background check, and as I'm sitting there, I'm just like, maybe I robbed a bank and I don't remember. Maybe I have 6 warrants out for my arrest. Maybe I have an unpaid parking ticket. I don't know. Maybe I'm not even me, and Caitlin birth name was murdered and I was installed in their place. Getting a background check is weird. It's like the same thing like when you're walking out of a store that has the like anti-theft scanner guys, and you're walking through and like you're clutching your receipt and you have a cart full of bags that have been bagged by an employee. And you're like, I really hope I didn't steal anything. I really hope that thing doesn't go off. And then you walk through and you're fine. Or sometimes it goes off and they're like, it's fine, just keep going. Then why do you have these terrifying thingies here? Anyway, that's my special anxiety. But on my way to the place where I needed to go get the background check and like get my fingerprints done, I was passing a lot of voting locations. So I'm seeing like little banners like vote here, some balloons, little yard signs, vote here today. And so I kept getting this reminder, all right, I have to vote on my way home. And I only worked until noon yesterday. So I did go vote on my way home, and I stopped at the library and got a library card. Leaving the house has been infuriatingly positive for me. I am in my, oh shit, doing stuff is actually beneficial era, because I've spent a long time in my, I don't really want to go outside. I don't really want to talk to people. I don't really want to deal with stuff era. Alas, it's actually pretty good for me to go out and talk to other people who do not live in my house. It also has made me feel like more protective of the time that I have at home. And this has happened in literally only 2 days. Like, I started work on Monday. Yesterday was Tuesday. So I have worked like 12 hours this week. And already I'm like, I cannot wait to have time to work on my painting. I cannot have time to work on my novel. I'm so excited to maybe even like grab 5 minutes to do some yoga in the mornings, because like sitting in the chair at work all day is less comfortable than my beautiful office chair, which is like a gaming chair that's designed for up to whatever pounds. And, you know, it's made to sit here game all day. So it's more comfortable. And I've got my little butt cushion. You don't need to know any of this, but I just wanted to give you the lowdown. And then at work, I'm sitting on like a visitor chair, basically. And I'm just sitting at a laptop watching training videos about taxes. So like, it's not the most fun. And it's also not the most comfortable. So I'm like getting up, taking little walks. It's in downtown Kent, Ohio. So there's coffee shops and there's local restaurants. And I'm so excited to just be able to go like walk around. And I just hope it feels like Stars Hollow, which is from Gilmore Girls. And if you're not familiar with Gilmore Girls, go watch Gilmore Girls so we can talk about it. Okay, so I'm commuting, which means I can listen to podcasts again, which is great because I'm trying to break up with Spotify, because Spotify is doing fascist shit. So first of all, the CEO of Spotify invested huge amounts of money into some type of weapons company. I'm not 100% clear. I'm hoping that Johan, my producer, will find some type of article and put it right here for you so that you can see a headline that explains it. And also, they have been running ads recruiting for ICE. And I hate that, so I want to stop giving them money. And so now I am in the market for trying to look for another music streaming app that feels more ethical and more in line with my values. So that project is going to take a lot of my energy because not only do I want to vet like how they pay their people, who they advertise for, but I also want to know, like, do they have AI? Because Spotify has implemented AI and I hate it. And I would like to get away from AI. So if you know anything about music streaming companies, apps, platforms, whatever, let me know. I will be looking into it and I will publish an article about it on writersagainstgenerativeai.com, which I believe is just wag-ai.com. That's our website, WAG AI. That's just me and a friend right now, Beth Cohen. And we are both authors and we both hate generative AI. So we were like, let's do it. And I write an article like every 6 months. So that's where we're at. We're also accepting guest submissions, currently unpaid because we don't have any kind of budget. But if you too hate AI and would like to write an article, reach out to me at hello@lilacpointcreative.com. Rad. Cool. So commute, podcasting. I myself am going to be starting another podcast. Not quite a podcast. I'm going to be vlogging on YouTube on a new account that's just about writing. And so I'm going to be vlogging about like my novel writing, partly because like when I do a video or an episode about writing, it doesn't get as many views on YouTube. So like I'm noticing what is resonating with like my viewers here and also like on Spotify, which I don't know if I can divest the podcast out of Spotify. We'll see. We'll find out. But like the top performing podcasts across like audio and video have been like the ones about like parental estrangement and like boundaries, executive dysfunction. So less about specific creative stuff and more about more general like neurodivergent and trauma related stuff. So that is what resonates the most. But for the people who are really interested in writing, sometimes I'm going to talk about that and I'm going to be yapping over there. So I will link that. I believe the account is called The Story Alchemist, but that handle was taken, so I couldn't get the handle. I'll put a link. There will be a link. There's no videos yet though, so you can go pre-subscribe if you want, but there's nothing for you yet. Okay, so I think those are like my personal little updates. So now I would like to tell you about finding the joy in the underwear. If you are familiar with Marie Kondo, who wrote The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, I guess if you're not familiar, I will give you a little intro. So this is the woman who wrote a book about basically decluttering, like downsizing. And she was the one who said, like, you should touch everything you own and ask, does this spark joy? So that was like, it took over the internet for a while. Kind of like mid 2010s, I would say people were really into, does it spark joy? And they would call it like they Marie Kondoed their stuff, or like I condoed my apartment, which sounds like you turned it into a condo, but it's condo with a K. So her premise is basically that like we hold on to a lot of stuff, not because we necessarily want it around, but because there are expectations attached to it. Like if we got a gift, we don't want to get rid of that gift because it feels rude to get rid of a gift. But her perspective is basically, if the joy of the gift was in the giving and receiving, that gift has served its purpose. You don't have to keep a trophy of the gift, especially if you don't like it, if it doesn't match your decor, if it's not your vibe, even if you just like change the color scheme of your decor or house, like, and you don't want that anymore, you are allowed to get rid of it. And so then you get people who didn't read the book and who don't care to like actually go learn about this woman or why she made this method. And they're like, whoa, I don't get joy from my socks. First of all, get whimsical socks. You can love your socks. I have several pairs of tights that I totally love. And my partner got a pack of like polka dots and stripes and argyle, like just all kinds of like brightly colored socks. And he likes to wear mismatched socks. And that drives me slightly insane, but I love him, so I support his mismatched sock wearing. So his socks really do bring him joy. But also, Marie Kondo says, like, sometimes the joy is in having socks, right? Like, you don't have to be thrilled about your underwear, but it is important to have underwear. So the joy can be, I have underwear, right? Fold them up nice, put them away in the drawer, tell them thank you for covering up my butt all day, and like live your life. You don't have to go that hard on, does this specific pair of briefs bring me joy? But also, if you've got a pair of underwear that you hate, that always rides up or falls down or, I don't know, gives you wedgies all day, you can get rid of those. If you have underwear that definitively bring you the opposite of joy, if you have unhappy underwear, you can get rid of those. You're not obligated to keep those. They're probably at the back of your drawer anyway, just suffering, lonely. She also a little bit anthropomorphizes your socks and underwear, but that's okay because I do that too. Now, she has definitely relaxed her stances since having children, because it is hard to keep like a very minimalist home made of only things that bring you joy when you have children. Because sometimes you just need stuff for kids. Sometimes the kids want stuff that doesn't bring you joy. We just got to deal with it. But my point about the joy in the underwear is that like this idea comes up all the time. Like I think the last episode we talked about like harm versus discomfort. That was 2 episodes ago. But like I'm having 2 ideas like slammed together like the Hadron Collider. So I'm trying to like separate them out and how I want to talk to them because I can't just take 2 ideas and vomit them out simultaneously. So bear with me. I just took my meds. So I am having 2 thoughts. One is about like sort of good enoughness, right? Like it's good that I have underwear so they don't have to spark all the joy. They just have to be underwear. And also the idea of like, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Because I want to talk about the fact that like a lot of us don't love what we do, but the joy in the underwear is that we have a job that pays our bills. We have a job that puts food on the table. We have a job, maybe it is not our dream job. Maybe there are parts of it we actively dislike, but there is a difference between the discomfort of being like, ugh, I don't like my commute. I don't really get along with this coworker, and being like in a hostile work environment, being harassed, being bullied for something that you like, for being fat or being queer or being autistic. Like there are problematic things in jobs that do require us to look for another job as soon as possible, right? Like if it's toxic, get out. But if it's just like kind of annoying, there can be like some pressure to go find a better job that makes you happier. And yes, sometimes, but you also can decide this is good enough. These underwear cover my butt. The joy is having the underwear. Like if you have a stable job that pays enough to pay your bills, maybe do a little bit of savings to meet your financial goals. Okay. Whatever they are. Maybe your financial goals are small. Maybe they're big. Maybe you're trying to get out of debt. So you want a higher paying gig. Like your finances are your own. I'm not going to lecture you about how much money you need to make because I don't know that. You know that. But if you've got benefits, if you have a good schedule, like one of my career coaching clients has been working a service job. So they've been a server and they work like 4 days a week and they make enough money to pay all their bills. And they're like, I don't love my boss. He's kind of frustrating. I don't love like how busy it feels like in the rush. But I do love that, it's close. It pays my bills and I get like a long weekend. Like they get 3 days off in a row. And like there's enough good stuff that like it's not a huge pressure to find a new job right away. And so they can take their time to find a job that is more aligned with their full-time goals, their financial goals. Like it's good enough for now. And so this is where the joy in the underwear came up. I wrote it down and I was like, I really hope I remember what that means. And I did, because I'm here now. So their joy in the underwear is that they have a job that works. They go to work, they get money for their labor, they can live their life fairly comfortably. Is it a dream job? No. Are they going to look for a dream job? Yes. But is it like desperately, you have to find your new job right now or you will die here? No, it's pretty chill. We got solid underwear. They're not the best underwear, not the most comfortable underwear I've ever worn, but they are underwear. So where else does that show up in life? Okay, places where that's maybe not the best is like a relationship. If you are in a relationship that is not actively like, yes, this relationship is good for me. We are in a mutually respectful, mutually loving, mutually committed relationship. If you're just like, it's a pair of underwear. Maybe not the relationship for you. Maybe work on it. Maybe communicate more. Maybe get couples counseling. Maybe break up. Sometimes the solution is just to break up. I've been listening to a lot of Reddit stories lately. And a lot of times the solution is just like, you guys aren't super in love with the idea of being together forever. So it's okay to break up. There doesn't have to be a villain in a breakup. Sometimes it just doesn't work. And that's okay. There's a lot of people on the planet. Not every two people are compatible. That's just a fact. I kind of took a little ride from service jobs to relationships, housing. Like we own our house. Well, we have a mortgage on our house. And it's like, it's not our dream house, but I do like it. I love our house. I can paint the walls whatever color I want. I can decorate however I want. I like owning my house as opposed to renting my house. The bills are more affordable, etc. Not that I have been paying my bills. Okay, that's not true. My 3 housemates have been splitting the bills 3 ways, and I have been contributing non-financially. So I am contributing. I've been working on this and like letting myself just own that. Everybody has a different situation. I'm also hoping that with my new job, I will be able to get back into the financial contributions. I also would like to hire a housekeeper because for neurodivergent adults, it's not it for keeping the house clean. It is not. So I am desperately hoping that we can pool our money and get a housekeeper in here once a week to do a deep clean of the bathrooms and the kitchen because I can't do it. I've been trying to do it for over a year and I can't do it. And there's no moral failure in that. Mom, beautiful. So like, do we all think that we will live in this house for the rest of our lives? No, we will likely sell this house. But right now, I'm super happy that we have this house. This house is great underwear. Okay, it's not even like find the joy in just having underwear. Like, no, I get to do a lot more here than I would in an apartment that I'm renting, like, etc. Like, I like our space. So for me, this house does spark joy, but for our other housemates, maybe it's underwear, you know, and maybe the joy is having underwear. For me, I love it. Like, I would stay here forever, probably, with a housekeeper. Okay, so I'm going to wrap us up here and just remember that you are the one who gets to decide if you want something to spark joy or if the joy is in having that need met. So like make yourself a list because the pressure to like have everything going great all at the same time, like dream job, dream partner, best dog in the world. You don't have to have your whole bucket list at the same time in order to live a fulfilled life. You can do little bits. And some of it is going to be underwear that is just nice to have. So go out there, find the joy, find the underwear. Tell me what your underwear is in the comments. I'm so excited for whatever the algorithm is going to do to this one. That is all, my friends. I love you. I will see you soon. Bye.
They'll change your approach and tell you a joke to lighten your load and help you along or sing you a song. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do.